Seminary life. What is seminary like? That is something that I am asked a lot of times as a vocation director and as a priest who's gone through seminary. What is it like? How is it different than, let's say, regular college? And my favorite answer to this is that its focus is not primarily academic. If you go to an academic institution, their job is to fill your brain with as much knowledge as possible and maybe set you up for the future as well. But they don't necessarily care about the type of human being you are. In the seminary, the primary focus is actually not academic. That's a part of it, but that's not everything. In the seminary, we say there are 4 dimensions to formation. Formation meaning forming the whole person, not just a part of him. And so that first dimension is the human dimension. And this is basically developing as a man, growing in self-knowledge, in personal and social awareness, of a greater maturity and ability to relate with others. In other words, developing a healthy lifestyle that will serve you well as a priest, God willing, down the road. The second dimension is what we call the pastoral dimension. And so the pastoral dimension gives us a lot of opportunities to encounter God in a variety of ways, in service to others, and again, a variety of different opportunities, whether it be serving the poor or serving the youth or the elderly, whatever it is. It's an opportunity to grow and to see God in the people that we serve. The third dimension is the spiritual dimension. And this is the dimension where we grow in a greater love with Jesus that's going to eventually manifest itself in love and service of others. But that's the source of everything, our relationship with Jesus. Everything flows from that. The spiritual dimension is critically important to who we are as human beings and as priests. And then fourthly is that intellectual dimension as well. Having a greater knowledge of the faith forms that foundation for ministry. And so there's 4 dimensions where we're formed is that human dimension, the spiritual dimension, the intellectual dimension, and the pastoral dimension. Now, seminary formation takes place over the course of actually 7 to 9 years, depending on when you enter and your particular situation. And it's broken up into 4 stages. That first stage is, fancy Scrabble word for you, called the propedeutic stage. And essentially what the propedeutic stage is, it's a prep year in a sense. That it's providing the basic groundwork that's going to allow the man to engage fully in the other 3 stages of seminary formation. Basically getting everybody on a relatively equal playing field so that you're ready to succeed in the years to come. The second stage is called the discipleship stage. And the main part of that stage is really just growing in that intimate relationship with Jesus through prayer and growing in virtue. So just growing closer to the Lord. The third stage is what we call the configuration stage. So it's taking that discipleship that you already have, that you're close to the Lord, and then conforming or configuring your life through God's grace to more closely model His, and in giving yourself, just like Christ gave Himself for us and for His church. And that fourth and final stage is what we are calling the vocational synthesis stage, which is, in a sense, just integrating everything together all at once into the ministry kind of dimension of seminary formation. And so, as I said previously, in order for someone to go through all the stages of seminary formation, it takes about 7 to 9 years, because we can train anyone to say the right prayers or to do the right things in certain situations. We can make anyone do that. But it's about taking that time through prayer, through study, through experiences, to not just forming our brain or learning how to perform a certain way, but actually having our heart changed, actually having our heart formed to be more and more each and every day like the heart of Christ. That's why that any time we spend in seminary is not wasted. Whether a man becomes a priest in 7 to 9 years, great, or whether he discerns that God was just calling him here for a specific amount of time and he's called to do something else with his life, the time that we spend here is not wasted, because each and every day that we're in formation, God is forming our hearts to be the man that He has called us to be.